Howdy everyone, and yes, welcome to my review of the US Grand Prix. And first, Carlos Sainz has retired for the second time in a row, and he hasn't completed a single lap, which has been another disappointing weekend for the Ferrari driver. And let's go through to see what happened on the first lap. So it all started with Max Verstappen passing him at turn 1, and then when they got to turn 1, George Russell was at the side of Sainz. But then Sainz and George clipped together and Sainz spun around, and George Russell, he was continuing and finished 5th at the end of the Grand Prix. But he did get a 5-second penalty, which I think was not fair. Because Russell, there was nowhere he could have gone, and there's not much he can do. Because if we take a look at another angle, you can see George Russell didn't have much space as much as Carlos Sainz, because he had a lot on the right, and Sainz, he didn't use all the space. So I think that was a Carlos Sainz error, not a George Russell. So the next time Sainz, when he goes into turn 1, I think what he really needs to do is to try use as much space as possible. And it's been a very rare error for the Red Bull pit stops, because they were fantastic at pit stops, but for some reason their wheel gun on the front left was playing up, and it cost Max 11 seconds. But luckily, they kept a spare right next to them, used that, and was able to get him back on the track. So well done, Red Bull Racing, for being prepared. That's a really good thumbs up from me. But it was a real shame it put him behind Charles Leclerc. But Max overtook him in the race, so that didn't affect him much. And if Elton John was at the US Grand Prix, he would say that Fernando Alonso has been our rocket man, because he flew on the track whilst hitting Lance Stroll, the Aston Martin, who made a late move. And what I find impressive the most, that Alonso survived. I mean, all the cars that flew up on the track, they never got back on the race, but Alonso did. That has to be the first ever time an F1 driver survived while flying in an F1 car. Epic. But then, what I found outrageous is Fernando Alonso got a 30-second penalty because the right mirror was off the car, and they said that was dangerous and he should have been brought in. But Alonso didn't even get the black and orange flag to tell him he should box and retire from the race. That was ridiculous. But what is the FIA doing? But before you all argue, do not worry. Fernando Alonso did get his 7th place back due to putting an appeal about that unfair penalty. So, well done, Alonso, and good job for keeping 7th. But the best bit at the end of the race is Max Verstappen winning for the 13th time this season, which is matching the record of Michael Schumacher and Sebastian Vettel, who both got 13 wins in their seasons. And Red Bull get their 5th Constructors' title. Go Red Bull! Thank you all very much for watching, and if you'd like to know me on other apps, go to follow me on TikTok, which is AndyMoore17, and Instagram, Andy.car44, and Twitter, AndyMooreF1. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.